Hello, ladies and gentlemen. That was once again the intro video created by the captain, Mr. Dazzy Lee. The video by him, the music by Mr. Robert Davis. I, of course, am the Piledriver Pundit, and I am joined today by my co-host of the RWT podcast, number one, Mr. Paul Morales, the dead man of RWT. Paul, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing really well, Mr. Daniel Crimmins. How are you?
Oh, we are living. It is a Friday night. The weather is fine. We're living. About to talk some wrestling. And we are also joined by our other brother from another mother. At least we think so. Mr. Michael fucking Larkin, the podcast machine. Think of any wrestling podcast. He's probably been on it at least once.
Or twice.
Or 3 times a lady. This is
fun. It is fun.
I appreciate it, Daniel. I'm happy to be here.
And we don't work for cheap here, people.
No, we don't.
A lot of human monies.
Human monies.
So first,
on this case, in other words, we're not getting paid for this, but I guess at some point in time we will.
I mean, if you want to.
We will.
We'll put our Cash Apps, Venmos, PayPals,
Zells.
All over. Yeah,
all
Zells and everything.
American currency only.
Yep.
American currency only.
And we're going to talk about tonight a little bit of wrestling. And first and foremost, guys, I got to talk about Danhausen for a moment. Here is a guy who, when we had him in AEW, started off with the whole thing with Adam Cole and Orange Cassidy. We had the whole stuff with the Ass Boys. Ass Boys!
Ass Boys.
And, we had Hookhausen, which I don't think ever really went as far as it could have. And for whatever reason, he wasn't on TV hardly ever, which, you saw that interview he did with, I think it was Chris Van Vliet, where he said, he only wrestled like 3 or 4 times. And he was there, 3 years?
3 years, yes, sir.
3 years.
So you got to figure that's 36 months, about once every 9 months.
Exactly.
And again, we've all talked about this. You're going to have those people that aren't going to fit in with WWE, but they'll excel in AEW. You'll have those people in AEW that aren't going to work out there, but then they'll work out in TNA or in WWE. Case in point, Danhausen. Dude is killing it.
Oh, he absolutely is. I think when you think of the comedy effect and everything he's done thus far, especially with Mini Danhausen against The Miz and Kit Wilson, absolute comedy, absolute gold. What he's doing now with his science experiments, he's the version of wrestling Steve Urkel, if you will. All he needs now is the transformation chamber that we've seen there and so much and so forth. Dr. Frankenstein, if you will. There's so many different things that they're doing with him, and he's been a very integral part of the show.
And he's made a ton of human monies, and it's... I think you watch the red carpet video from the Hall of Fame, which apparently, according to him, he's now a Hall of Famer, which, congratulations to him. He got in before Roman Reigns. What does that say?
I'm just saying, when you're Danhausen and you're cursing people and you have human teeth, come on, man. Why wouldn't you let someone of that caliber in?
Exactly. And, it's... seeing how proud his wife was of him, you could tell, she's just that was a look of love. She's proud of her husband, and kudos to him. And I got to ask you guys, who do you think is under that sheet?
Ooh, man, if the rumors are true, Baron Corbin, which would be very interesting. Very funny, very interesting, just because of his last tenure there in WWE, really not knowing what to do with him. Really, the best thing that he had was the team with Braun Breaker on NXT and him kind of finding himself. And then they couldn't find anything for him, of course, doing his thing in MLW with Donovan Dijak. But if it is Baron Corbin and we have another new version, another, dare I say, addition to the character, another extension of himself, I think he would do a fun job with that, because anything you put him up with, he really succeeds with.
Oh, yeah.
Are we going to call him Corbinhausen? What are you going to call him? Corbinhausen?
Corbinhausen.
I mean, are we going to get Happy Corbinhausen? Are we going to get Baron Corbinhausen? Are we going to get Miserable Corbinhausen? Yeah, exactly. Are we going to get Constable Constable freaking Corbinhausen. I mean, we don't know what version we're gonna get. I mean, and I know you mentioned Steve Urkel, and did I do that? Of course, he has a catchphrase, and he's like, you are cursed. We get that version of him. So, oh, by the way, I wanted to let you know that my wife actually loves your intro, and I know it was by Robert Davis. She says she loves the music. So
I think he killed it. Shout out to Rob.
Shout out to Rob.
Yeah, shout out to Rob. We're waiting for ours, Rob.
Yeah. And we're not.
And then I got to reach out to. Then you know what? Then I really got to reach out to the captain, because you want to know why? We need a new intro.
And I'm not.
It's almost about that time.
I'm not going to say put out the shows, Mo. We're going to
put out the shows, Mo.
Put out the intro, Rob. Put out the intro.
Exactly. But
now, when you talk about Baron Corbinhausen, like, why does that sound like an old Bond villain?
I can definitely see him on like a double.
Baron Corbinhausen. Like, that sounds like something from like the old Sean Connery era Bond movies.
That's 007 Bond for you right there.
Best era, by the way.
Yes, agreed.
But
Roger
I digress.
Moore did have a couple of. Roger Moore did have a couple of them.
He was okay. He was good.
Pierce Brosnan.
A View to a Kill. A View to a Kill was pretty good. Well, that was his, huh?
Yeah. I mean, the only one I didn't care for was Lazenby. I think he only did one. And I'm going to catch hell for this. I know I am. I didn't really care for Daniel Craig.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I understand why. I get it. I get it. Yeah.
Well, Pierce Bronson wasn't really great in that. I mean, he had the accent. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. He did have the accent, but it's just, for me, it was one of my wife's favorites, Sean Connery. So I can't really say very much.
And as we digress, because folks, in case you don't know, we do that a lot.
Yes, we do.
I think you got to look at each actor in the movies they did as kind of a product of their time. It's like the Pierce Brosnan Bond movies were like the mid to late 90s, which there weren't a lot of great and memorable movies in the 90s. We got a lot of crap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got The Rock with Sean Connery, which there's actually a fan theory that says that that's a Bond movie.
I mean,
it kind of makes sense.
Oh, this is also around.
It kind of makes sense. It does kind of make sense.
This is also.
Go ahead, Michael.
Oh, no worries. I was going to say this is also around the time that Patrick Swayze was in Black Dog with Meatloaf, for God's sake, when you had Sean Connery and The Rock. So,
I mean, this is the same internet that has the theory that Kevin from Home Alone grew up to become Jigsaw from the Saw movies.
Yeah.
They asked him.
Very crazy.
They asked Macaulay Culkin about that, and he wouldn't say. Like, he wouldn't comment on it. Makes me think he thinks there's something to it.
Can you imagine Danhausen as Kevin?
Very nice.
Reprising. Imagine WrestleMania came back to Hollywood again, and they decided to do that. They decided to do that whole montage of reprising people in movies. Kevin,
Danhausen, the first one.
That would be hilarious.
The scene where Kevin wakes up, he's in the house, and he kind of looks around. Imagine Danhausen doing this whole. It could work.
Hey, I mean, we got Eugene doing Forrest Gump at WrestleMania 21 and William Regal. Run, Eugene, run! So, I mean, hey now, why not?
Uh-oh. Which I gotta say, I don't know, folks, if you're not following Eugene on social media, it's actually really interesting, like hearing him, talk about the stories of the character and, the backstage stuff. Like, the story that he tells was that he was told that Vince told him he wanted to bring back characters. Like, he wanted to bring back, the outlandish characters. And Nick Dinsmore pushed to Vince the concept of Rain Man as a professional wrestler.
Wow. Okay. I could see that, sort of, kind of.
I could see it.
I mean, it's and he got that over.
I mean, then again, we had RoboCop in WCW, so I mean, hey, man, a Rain Man character.
The Kiss
Right?
Demon.
That was
Kiss
just
Demon.
like, that was just horrible.
Hey, it's not as bad as the Kiss Demon.
Oh God, Dale Torborg and his wife Asia. Yeah.
Which the full story was they had made a deal, I believe, with Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be a stable. Each character was going to be a wrestler. I think the next to come out was supposed to be the Star Child, which was, Paul Stanley.
Yeah.
But the Demon just kind of fell apart. Like it did not get over. Which, of course, Gene Simmons' character, the Demon, was the first to come about because it's Gene Simmons.
Well, one of the lowest rated segments was the Kiss concert in WCW history when he lip synced.
Oh my God. I so forgot about that. And then thank you for reminding me about that.
And that's one of my favorite songs.
Yep.
They were playing, like Ace Frehley, Paul Stanley, Peter Criss, they were playing. Gene Simmons was not singing. Now, the story that I had read was that once they, as soon as they were done playing, gone. Like they didn't stick around, they left.
That's the crazy part for it being the late 90s. I know that they had taken off their makeup around the late 80s, early 90s.
80s, early 90s.
I know that they had taken it off, and then I know that people were so wanting them to bring it back and to just put it back on, because that was be the characters again, because that's what people knew them for.
Exactly.
And I remember the episode. What was it? Headbangers Ball, when they showed up without their makeup on, and everybody was just like,
"What?
Huh?
Who are these guys?"
You're right. Headbangers Ball. Yes, sir.
And it's
one of my favorite shows.
There's a guy, I think he did an interview with Bishop. I can't remember the guy's name, but I think it was like SFX Studios. He did a lot of the work for WCW. He made the cast copy of the WCW World Title. He also made the Kiss Coffin, that WCW used where Dale Torborg came out. He had it in his studio. Like, he still had it, and he was talking about the plans. He said that he and Bischoff flew out to Gene Simmons' house, and he said, I'm intimidated because here he is wearing sunglasses inside. And he said, I run the whole idea by him. And he said, he's just sitting there. And he says, now tell me again. Like, and he had all this Kiss memorabilia because, of course, he did. You can tell I'm not a huge fan.
Here's my thing. It didn't last very long here in Myrtle Beach, but for a cup of coffee, literally, pun intended, we had a Kiss coffee house here at Myrtle Beach. Cup of coffee. Oh yes, and it did not last. Coffee did not last long. And I'll be honest with you, I remember I still have my Kiss Coffee House T-shirt somewhere, but the prices on those T-shirts and everything was ridiculous. And oh God.
Well, it's I remember
it's like prices for stuff at concerts now. Shit, I mean, I mean, we could talk about the prices of like T-shirts at WWE events, and it's like it's horrible.
Like the replica belts, for example. When I was a kid, so when I was maybe 17, 18, the Raw title, which was the World Heavyweight title at the time, that one, they were like $200, which is still a lot of money, but compared to now where they're like double, almost triple that. Yeah. And now you go to the venues, be it Raw, SmackDown, the PLEs, you're paying even more. Like what is normally like $500, you may be paying like $600. and people are paying it. But it's. I remember when I was a kid, when I was a young kid, my parents and brother and I, we went to New York City. We went to the WWE The World, which is now a Hard Rock Cafe.
Which is crazy to think about. I remember the world, yeah.
And they had good food.
Meatball sandwiches, like they had some good stuff there.
And like the merchandise was pretty cool. Like they had stuff that you couldn't get anywhere else. My brother got a t-shirt for Test. Yes, folks, Test had a t-shirt and it said, "I love my testicles."
Ruthless Aggression era Test with Stacy Keibler. Hell yeah.
You know, people talk about Carlito, and he talked about it. I think he was with CVV actually.
Yep.
He said there was that shirt that said, "Do you spit or swallow?"
And the promo with Maria, yeah.
Exactly. And he said, he's like, "I went to Stephanie. I didn't think that they would okay it, and they did it.
They okayed it."
I mean, nowadays, I don't think that shirt would get through.
Oh, no. I mean, that was 2006. 20 years later, no.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've gotten so, like, it wouldn't. And the Taz shirt, that definitely would not have.
Oh, no. I mean, you also have to look at, like, even some of the merch that they had with John Cena when he had the Ruck Fuels t-shirt. And if you spell around, it's fuck rules. And that would not get around. Or Triple H, screw the rules, play the game. Like, stuff like that.
I had that shirt, actually. The screw the rules, play the game.
Yep.
And I remember I wore that to school one day. Or wore it a lot. And I had a gym teacher who looked at that and just freaked out. He looks at me and just says, "I don't want you wearing that shirt to the school ever again."
It's funny. I had a 6th grade teacher and all of my classmates were looking at me. So one day I have a Lita t-shirt. It's somewhere around there. And it's just her and like think of like the Divas photo shoots. There's like her logo and there's like a picture of her with a bikini on it. And it's the purple like Hardy Boys logo. Yep. And the kids are looking at me like, are you really wearing that? I'm like, yeah, it's a wrestling t-shirt. I didn't get in trouble for it, but I did get a lot of looks that day for wearing that t-shirt.
Now, it's funny. I actually went to my principal, who I was cool with him. Like, me and the principal were cool people. We got along.
Right.
And I asked him about it. And I said, "It's a wrestling shirt. Like, it." And he said, he told me never to wear it again. And he looks at it and he's just like, he shakes his head. He's like, "I don't care." He said, "If he gives you trouble, you come right to me. I'll take care of it."
Yeah.
And I'm just
exactly.
Like, cool.
Paul, what wrestling t-shirts did you wear to school? Anything, any looks like we got?
You know what? No. But what was the most interesting one, because I had already graduated by the time the Attitude Era had already started. But the one that I actually did wear that my dad had, I had went to his house and this was like my freshman year. I had a very raunchy shirt, that one that said, liquor, like the liquor store. It says liquor in the front, poker in the rear. And it has like the liquor, and it has like the bunch of like bottles of liquor, and it has like they're in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like and in the bottom part it says poker in the rear, and it has guys sitting there playing poker, and a sexy girl kind of big. And I had one of my last, I had taken shirts to my dad's house. But I had went to go play baseball with some friends, and most of them were like all sweaty. So I just grabbed a shirt from his and I said, "Oh, this is a cool shirt." But I had got home, I washed it and everything. So I had went to school on a Friday, and I had wore it. And then my first period teacher looked at me and she goes, "Come here." And I said, "What?" She's looking at me and she goes, "I need you to turn your shirt inside out." And I said, "Why?" She goes, "That is very inappropriate." And it didn't dawn on me. I just said, "Look, I'm going to grab a shirt." And I looked at it and I just didn't put two and two together.
Yeah.
I got that when she came and she looked at me and she goes, "Where's your gym shirt?" And I said, "In my gym locker." She goes, "I need you to go get it." She goes, "Either that or put on your sweater." I said, It's 100 degrees outside. She goes, I need you to put on your sweater or turn the shirt inside out or go get your gym shirt. And I was like, all right. I said, I'll be right back. I went to the bathroom, turned it inside out, and I came back and I had ripped the tag off of the back. And my friends are like looking at me like, what did she tell you? I was like, because she told me to turn the shirt inside out. I go, because apparently it's inappropriate. I told one of my friends, I said, who's a female. She goes, what did it say? I said, liquor in the front, poker in the rear. And then she's like looking at me and she goes, oh, to wonder why. I got 2 and 2 together. Don't worry about it. I knew I was playing dumb with her.
That was not talking about anything vulgar. The fact that her mind went there says something about her, not about you.
Hey, I went to the I went to the post office one time, and I have 2 T-shirts. One says "My pen is huge," pen and is huge, and there's a pen. Yeah. And the other one I have is "Boobies make me smile." It's the blue shirt with the yellow smiley face, like Forrest Gump. You just stepped into some dog shit. It happens.
It happens.
Yes. So I wore my pen is huge to the post office as I'm walking in with my buddy to drop off a letter. Friggin' this woman looks at me, and I swear to God, I thought she was going to slap me in the face. She looks at my T-shirt. She looks back at me, and she goes, that's pretty funny. And she walked out. And I'm like, that was cool. I like that. See, people can have some sense of humor.
Exactly. Like,
sense of humor.
It's not a big thing. There's this saying that says, it's not a dick. Don't take it so hard.
Boom.
No, I got to fourth. My math teacher was like looking at me and he goes, it's inside out. I said, yeah. I go, Mrs. Johnson. I said, made me turn my shirt inside out. And he goes, why? I go, because of what it says. And he goes, what does it say? And I said, it says liquor in the front, poker in the rear. I go, and it has a bunch of liquor bottles. I go, but it has poker on the bottom. And he starts busting up laughing. He goes, yeah, that's a little inappropriate. He goes, but you know what? It's pretty funny though. I was like, yeah, see, humor. I got it. He goes, I get it. He goes, but you're in a school. He goes, you shouldn't have worn it. And I was like, I just thought it was funny. I was being stupid. I was like, man, I just thought it was just funny.
Yeah.
He was like, well, it is. He goes, but some people take it a little bit, I was like, yeah, a little too serious.
We talk about shirts that would never get made. I remember a shirt, and Mike, this was right around 03, 04, which a very dark time for WWE, much like now.
Yes.
And do you guys remember HLA?
Hot Lesbian Action.
They made a shirt for that.
I'm not surprised.
It had a shirt.
Oh, my Lord.
And I remember they had it at the World, but they had it like tucked away where it's like, they're making us sell this, but we don't want to. And here in, the Buffalo area, just over the border in Niagara Falls, they used to have, I don't think it's still open, but they had a WWE store. And they had a ride. Those rides at theme parks where you go in, you strap it, they strap you in, you go up and then back down.
Yes.
And they called it the Piledriver.
Oh my God.
But again, they had shirts that you couldn't get anywhere else. You remember the old ECW shirt that just had the logo and it said Extreme Championship Wrestling?
Yes.
They had that in a black shirt and chrome lettering. And in the tag, it actually had WWE Canada, and again, could only get it there. And I got it buried in the house somewhere. Where, I don't fucking know.
It's funny because we mentioned like Paul mentioned his T-shirt, and you guys did ours in school and everything. One of the things I also remember is, so I have my 7th grade picture still with me. Picture day, for the picture day, I wore Mankind, Mick Foley, Have a Nice Day. It's the T-shirt with the smiley face and the Mankind mask over it. It says Have a Nice Day in the back. And I remember as a kid, my dad got pissed that I wore that to school just because he's got a Hannibal Lecter mask on it. I'm like, I'm going to tell you right now, they're not going to care. Nobody cared. But yeah, I remember my dad doesn't care, but I think he was thinking because you're going to school wearing that. But it's just like, yeah, I'm like, nobody's gonna care. Like I even said that, nobody cared.
Like the way I would look at it, as long as you're wearing clothes.
That's true.
Are you wearing a shirt? Are you wearing shorts or pants or whatever, and shoes? Whatever.
Do you see what the kids are wearing nowadays in school? Like, was it really that bad to what we have? And especially with everything that's going on today in the social and political climate, like, really, is it that bad?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So one of the original ECW shirts that they had, at least they had it here. I don't know about over there, but one of the ones that I had seen, that, you know how it was in champion wrestling before it became extreme.
Yeah.
So so there was one that said Eastern Championship Wrestling, except for in the middle, it looked like it was busted open. Like you could see like it was broken, and now it says Extreme. But it had a big old middle finger that said ECW, but the middle part of the W was like a middle finger like this.
Yeah.
And
I think I remember that.
So yeah, so it was like this. So I had one and I wore it to work. I had my uniform on because I was doing security at the time. So I went to work. I had just like unbuttoned my shirt just a little bit, and you could see like where the middle finger is at. Well, the business that I was working at, there were a bunch of women that were there. So I was working in an office, but I was working out at the front gate. But I always had to go in to go check and walk around and everything. So when I walked in, I had it unbuttoned, and you could see the middle finger right in the middle of the W. Lady looks at me and she goes, "Oh my God." She goes, "What kind of shirt is that?" She goes, "Is that a middle finger?" And I said, "Yeah." The lady behind her goes, "That's so fucking cool." She goes, "What is it?" And I go, I opened up my shirt. I go, look, I go, "It's a wrestling company." I go, "It's called ECW." She goes, "Oh my God." She goes, "That's so cool. My husband's a wrestling fan." So we got into this whole conversation, but he was offended that I had the shirt and it had a middle finger on it. But she was just like, "Oh my God." She goes, "That's so offensive." I'm like, "All right, sorry."
How is that any different? How is that any different from music, from movies, books?
Uh-huh.
I mean, people complained about the Harry Potter books for like how many years?
50 Shades of Grey says what?
Thank you.
You really
You said as finger says what?
You really want to talk about fucked up? Let's talk about the story from the fucking Twilight books. How fucked up that really is.
Listen, I had to read Catcher in the Rye in 11th grade. You want to talk about fucked up and just depressing?
Just don't talk about the Around a John Lennon fan.
No. Fucker.
They might find that very, that might explode your mind.
Do you know what friggin' pissed me off about that too is like because you know how in school when you read the book, there's always we'll watch the movie adaptation of it in school or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys did too. So since there was no movie about the Catcher in the Rye, my 11th grade teacher at the time, we watched the documentary of whoever it was on 2020 at the time, probably Barbara Walters or whoever, interviewing
Walters, probably.
Yeah, probably. Interviewing Mark David Chapman from jail. I'm like, this is really what we're watching?
Uh-huh.
Mark David Chapman in jail. And I'm like, okay.
The dude that murdered
John Lennon.
Who was he trying to impress? Was it Madonna?
No, I think it's just he came there and he gave an autograph with John Lennon. Then he came back and, I am Holden Caulfield. Bang.
And
it's crazy. It's crazy how we end up with these serial killers who all of a sudden like believe, even the ones that believe like they were friends with this person, but they murdered them. Oh my God, we were so cool. He met me and, he was so nice. And all of a sudden, boom, he's dead.
It's like the dude on Catfish who legit thought that he was talking to Katy Perry, and he swore it was Katy Perry up and down. And I'm like, no, dude, you're talking to this lesbian chick who pretended to be Katy Perry. Like, come on.
Exactly. Oh my God, Catfish is one of those shows where you're just like, is this legit? Is this person legit? And then you come to find out that they're not really who they say they are, and they don't have the lavish lifestyle that they have, or they're just completely different people.
I remember a couple years ago, I think it was Mia Yim who said like, I'm not asking you for money. Like, I'm not. She's like, I'm good.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like they immediately, a lot of the wrestling fans who get duped by these profiles, when they say like, oh, you want money? It's like, I'll give you money. No, if they're asking you for money, it's a scam. Like, these people are not going to ask you for your money or this and that and this and that. And then that's, I think, one of the things. I mean, we've seen Catfish. We know how the internet has evolved in advance, but people still get duped by it.
It's like you want it to be this person. Like if I'm gonna use the example.
Oh boy!
If Nia Jax reached out to me, and I'm like looking at the profile, and it says Lena, and I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I would ask my wife. I'd be like, is she really messaging me? Is this for real? She really want to know me? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'd be like, cool. But my wife would be like, go. She goes, go get yours. Go get yours. That's
Nia. Your pass.
Go ahead.
That's your pass.
Yeah, that's my pass. But, but I get it. You get like, and I'll even tell you a recent story. So there was somebody out here in California that thought, I forgot what movie star was supposedly asking them for funds because they were broke. Oh, because Mickey Rourke. Rourke, I guess he's going through all this stuff with and some people in Palm Springs actually thought that it was legitimately him asking them because he was being evicted from his home, and that he was going through this bankruptcy and whatnot. So they thought that they were sending funds to him, but in reality, they were funding some other people who were just like living this lavish lifestyle because these people decided, hey, I'm going to send them $5,000. Hey, I'm going to send them $15,000. And I'm like, how you have $5,000 and $15,000, just hanging out for nothing?
It was bad enough to the point where Mickey Rourke even had to come out and say, hey, yeah, I'm not getting evicted. I'm not, And it's like, it's to the point where it's like, even some of the stuff with wrestling, some people think some like these Twitter beefs are legit, or that these storylines are legit. Like,
yeah, I'd be beefing with Michael all the time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But like, you get the point I'm making. It's like, people like use your brain, people. Like, it's Rhea and Jade, like that Twitter beef. The fact that people bought that, I mean, kudos to Rhea and Jade for getting that over.
Did you see? It's funny you bring this up. Did you guys see the WWE Rivals with Charlotte and Becky Lynch on A&E? And I got to tell you something. Becky stirring the pot, talking about her breast, and Charlotte not knowing she was going to say that, and it just went really, really bad after that. Like, Becky kind of just, a lot of people felt Becky took it a little too far at the time in 2018. And kind of re-looking at it now, what did you guys think about that when that happened at the time? And Charlotte not even knowing she was going to say that.
See, I don't know. There's part of me that thinks that that's all bullshit, but like, and as an aside, I will say this run that Charlotte is on now, best run of her career.
Wow, it's far, like, her as a babyface with Alexa, she's having fun. She's being her authentic self.
Well, she's done, you guys know, she's done the babyface run in the past. The reason I don't think it's ever really gotten over to this level, she was being the character.
Yeah, and she
was being Charlotte Flair. She was being her dad.
She was being a dickhead while also trying to be a babyface.
But now I don't think this is necessarily Charlotte Flair. I think this is Ashley.
I think in this point in her career, because I think she knows it'll be done within a few years.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like, I want to have a good time.
And
I think if she legitimately wants to have a family, she's in her late 30s. I mean, if she legitimately wants to have a family, and I am almost certain that you look at somebody like Becky Lynch, who has not only does she have a daughter, but she also has her husband, who's also part of wrestling. And I know that everything that she went through with Andrade was, completely what it was. Mm-hmm. But I'm talking about legitimate having a relationship while also having a marriage. Look at Bianca Belair, her and
Montez.
I mean, and you obviously can look at Big Jim. Him and Naomi. Obviously, you know what? They started a family. That they're doing what they're doing, and we already know Jade already has a daughter. So it's not highly unusual as it used to be, to where you can't leave for a year and a half to go have a family. But it just shows how the industry has changed, how we now can see like women going out, enjoying themselves, living their life. Hey, you get pregnant. Hey, you know what? Take the time off. If you choose to leave and not return, that's fine too. Maria Kanellis, she got pregnant, came back, got pregnant, had her, got pregnant, had the kid, came back, ended up pregnant again, and I think she left for a second time, and then she came back. So, but now she's legitimately, doing what she's doing. So, I think that's beautiful. I think that's a beautiful thing to allow women to just be them, be their natural selves, and not have to worry about having to lose their place. Alexa Bliss is another one too. I know I mentioned
she was gone for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, my Alexa decided to answer me.
I mean, to be completely honest, going to your guy's point, I mean, with Maria Kanellis, I mean, they did unfortunately turn her pregnancy into a storyline where she won the 24/7 title and nobody could pin her because she's pregnant. So, I mean, hey, they kind of made it a crap. WWE 2019, ladies and gentlemen. WWE 2019.
And I think
I never said it was perfect. I'm just kind of pointing out the obvious.
Yep.
But that was hilarious, though.
It was. And didn't she end up losing it to her husband on like a fluke?
By accident, yes. Because I think he fell on top of her. Somebody was brawling, he fell, and he wound up pinning her.
Yeah.
It kind of, the whole 24/7 title thing, that kind of reminded me of, remember WrestleMania 18 and the hardcore title with the 24/7 rule?
Oh, where Maven pinned Christian while he was trying to get into his car? Yeah.
Yep.
That or Christian friggin' knocking down Mighty Molly. Stand back. There's a new hardcore champion coming through.
And then Al Snow and Teddy Long with the
golf cart. Was Hurricane coming in on the Hurricycle and knocked down Spike Dudley? That, yeah.
Yep. Wild time. Then we had, was it WrestleMania?
So many good times. So many good times.
I think 17, Big Show versus Kane versus Raven. Randomly. Raven. And then Raven almost causing the power to go out in the whole stadium.
Going through the window and everything, yeah.
But you got to admit that match was
great.
Hell of a lot better. Was a hell of a lot better than anybody thought, especially for them leaving the arena, going to the back, going into the tunnels and everything of freaking the Astrodome. Is that where it was at?
Yeah, it was Houston Astrodome.
Yeah, the Houston Astrodome. It was like you watch the match and you see where the hell they're at, and it's like, wow, like they're in the depths of it, and everybody's out in the crowd watching it on monitors or watching it on the screens that are around there, watching them beat the hell out of each other. So I just thought that was an excellent match for that.
It was, and if you think about it now, there was a scene where I think it was Raven was driving a golf cart and like he almost got it stuck. And he said in an interview, he said, what was good because he said, if I had gone maybe another 2 feet, I would have taken out the power of the whole building. And I'm thinking to myself, if that had happened, WrestleMania goes black. He would have been fired the next fucking day.
Oh my God. And I mean,
I can see it now. You see on WWE.com, WWE has come to terms on the release of Scott Levy, aka Raven.
knocking out the power. I mean, we all know what happened. I mean, look at it like this, like an epic blow up or epic like thing that would have happened there. And then, fast forward to 09, look at poor Deuce, poor Sim Snuka getting fired for not catching the Undertaker. So, I mean, that kind of led to his downfall and not being in the legacy. So, I mean, hey, that kind of cost a Deuce at that WrestleMania, which rightfully so, the way Undertaker landed on the dive.
I mean, you talk about people getting fired and Undertaker being there. You got to talk about that pyrotechnic guy.
Oh, he still is so pissed about that. 16
I wonder if he's still running.
Oh, probably.
You know what? And who was it? Was it Randy Orton, the one that said it, that he came out and that he looked like he was just pouring water on himself?
Yeah.
Or was it somebody said it? I know they were in an interview with Chris Van Vliet.
R-Truth.
R-Truth, yeah.
Like he was
no, it was it R-Truth?
It was R-Truth.
Yeah, he was just on people's podcast talking about it.
He was with Undertaker and he was talking about it. And he said, "Dog, I came down the ring and I see you're just, doing this and this." And like he's like, I could tell you were mad. And
he's like, "You're in the pod."
You could see Taker just like
yeah, he goes,
"I'm in his bottom lip." He's like,
"Yep." He said, I was by the pod next to you, and I could tell you were really pissed."
So, if that pyrotechnic guy, if by some chance you're seeing this, run. Because I think Taker's still mad.
I mean, speaking of someone,
he's still mad at Hulk Hogan, and that's been what 30 years.
They got me, brother. Over 30.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hold on. Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan. Did you guys see? Speaking of people, Matt, did you see Maven did a almost 20-minute video on his YouTube about why he hated Triple H, and he explained it segment by segment by segment by segment,
literally in detail.
In detail, why he hated Triple H.
Yeah, he literally went into detail as to why he hates Triple H. And it's like, I get it. I really, really do. Much like how MVP hates him. I mean, he thinks he's a racist, which, again, that's a whole different subject for a whole different show.
I mean, but at the same time, too, I look at guys like Maven. I look at guys like the Rene Dupree's of the world, and I'm like, guys, this was like 20 plus years ago, 23 years ago, 22 years ago, however it may be. Like, you guys got to move on from that.
We talk about, what you bring up Rene Dupree, and I think that's an interesting combo. He's somebody that when he came in, he was like 20, 21 years old, looked like a stud, an absolute star. Unfortunately, he didn't have the charisma to back it up.
I think with his downfall, and he'll self-admit it, was the drugs that he took. He was constantly out of his mind. I think the biggest push that he got, not only being tag team champions, La Resistance in that feud in 03, but I also think when you push him in his big first singles feud as John Cena for the U.S. title and being in the mix there, and then randomly him and Kenzo Suzuki are the tag team champions, the French guy and the Japanese guy, and then he kind of just dips after that, and then he's on ECW, and they
brought La Resistance back randomly again.
They had one match, and because they beat the holy hell out of the enhancement talent that they did, and Renee was fucked up in the match, that was it. That was the end of La Resistance. Yeah. From what Sylvain Grenier said on Renee's podcast, apparently at the time, they were going to make ECW tag team titles, and the first ECW tag team champions of that new regime and that brand were supposed to be La Resistance.
That's and I would have been okay with it. I would have been okay with it.
I bet you that those belts were made, and they're probably sitting in the warehouse somewhere.
Probably.
There was a ECW championship that got made. It was right around the time that CM Punk won it. Had his name on it, And if I can find it, I'll send it to you and we'll show it on the RWT podcast, Cheap Pop #1. Yes, we do that here too, folks.
Yes, we do.
Oh, we
But
do? Oh, okay.
It was the god ugliest piece of shit belt I have ever seen. Like it was that bad. It was worse than the Crown Jewel Championship. It was worse than the Greatest Royal Rumble Championship.
Cruiserweight tag titles in WCW.
Worse than that.
Oh boy.
And
Is it worse than the United States tag team titles in the NWA?
That or
even those the red straps and that whole thing.
Yeah, with the red straps and the freaking United States in the freaking middle of it.
The pennies.
Yeah, the penny tags.
Oh, the copper tag team freaking the penny ones. Yeah, those ones looked horrible.
Now, a fun story about the penny tags.
Okay.
Initially, they were supposed to have nameplates. They were supposed to, and there is a set out there. I believe they're both owned by a private collector. This was back when Jericho and Big Show had them.
Oh, Jericho. That was 09.
And those are the names on there. Like they have them. And it's similar to the Intercontinental title that Ahmed Johnson won. That he went off of Goldust, the golden IC.
Yes. I remember seeing that. Yes.
Now that one, fun little fact. When it was getting time to make Goldust the IC champion for the first time, because I think he had it twice.
Sounds about right.
But that first time, they went to Reggie Parks, who was the guy that made the titles back in the late 80s to early to mid 90s. And like, hey, we need an Intercontinental Championship with a gold strap. And we need it by such and such date. Well, Reggie didn't have the time or the resources to get it done that quickly. So he took the one that Shawn Michaels and I think Marty Jannetty had, the one that was like a baby blue color.
Yes.
Took the plates off, dyed the strap gold. Put it back together. Here you go. And
you know what's crazy? If you go back and look at the Ultimate Warrior when he was Intercontinental Champion, they changed the strap on his titles several times.
Yeah.
To kind of accommodate, because he used to wear different tassels on his arms. So they would change the strap. Like it literally went from being black to being white to having yellow to having like a powder blue.
Yeah.
And then and it's like you go look at the assortment of colors that he had, and I believe he had a green one. If I'm not mistaken, it was like a lime green color one. It's crazy how they did that for him, but like nobody else.
They also, if you think about it, like back then, he also did it when he was the WWF champion with the Winged Eagle.
Yes, they did that too.
I guess the closest thing that we ever would see in more contemporary times, you think Stone Cold had, the Smoking Skull. Rock was supposed to have a custom title, which by the time it was done and it got to them, he'd already lost the title.
It's funny, like we're talking about the Intercontinental title. The thing that always pissed me off as a kid, and we mentioned it before we came on air, the horrible Katie Vick angle with Triple H beating Kane at that No Mercy, and that was the end of the IC title until Judgment Day 03 on the Battle Royal when it came back. I'm like, you literally took away the workhorse title. And you don't have, like, all you had at the time was the main title, the tag titles, and, like, on Raw and SmackDown and the WWE title, that was really about it. So it's just kind of like, hey, man, like, what are we doing here?
Mike, to go off your point, how is that any different than when Brock was the champion and you had, I think it was on Raw when you literally only had the IC title or the US title.
True. Well, yeah, that was different because it was Brock. Here's the thing. Now, it's funny you bring that up. With Brock at the time when all that happened, that was 02 and he was still full-time. The difference that time is because Brock was older and he was part-time. So it's different also in age and just the time period, though.
Yeah. Well, now it's like with Roman being a world heavyweight champion, Like he said, "Oh, I'm gonna be there." How many times has he defended the title?
Once. Besides Jacob, once.
Like,
and how often was CM Punk face? No, he did it twice.
CM Punk, he defended against Finn Balor on that Raw.
But he defended every
both
PLE.
times he faced Jacob, didn't he? Both times that he did the title, he faced Jacob twice, right?
Oh, Roman, yeah, Jacob twice. The Tribal Combat and the regular match.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he did it twice, but.
And I'm sorry, people, but with everything going on, I think people want to blame Triple H and want to blame creative, and that's fine. Is there blame to go there? Absolutely. We're not saying there isn't. But let me ask you guys this question.
Okay.
Wouldn't you say that the WWE universe, fans, whatever you want to fucking call them, are just as at fault as creativists? The reason I say this is if you think about it, they allow this shit to happen. They tune in every week. They watch every PLE. They pay the $30 a fucking month to watch the shit. They buy the t-shirts, the games, the tickets. The way this country is with capitalism, if you're still giving them money, they're going to think, well, people must be okay with it. If you stop feeding the beast, you affect their bottom dollar, they're going to look at it and they're going to think, we got to course correct.
Well, there is a part that, like Nick Khan had said recently about talking about how how they keep saying, we're not listening to the internet, we're not listening to social media, but we're not going to respond to them. Well, when you mention it, that's you responding to it. That's you responding to the negative reactions from content creators like ourselves and like others out there. And you want to legitimately
shout out to Denise.
Ultimately, you shout out to Denise. What's up, Denise? And ultimately, you want people to be happy with your product as far as what you're presenting to them. If you're not presenting something worthwhile to people are going to be turned off. As to the reason why a lot of WWE fans are now turning to AEW, because they're tired of it. They're tired of everything that's going on.
I mean, to go on to Paul's point, like he mentioned, like with Nick Khan pretty much saying, like, WrestleMania, this is what it was supposed to be for WrestleMania 40. That's a goddamn lie. You're just trying to save your ass because, we don't listen to the fans and derp. I think there's a thing where there are storylines that people are invested in. People are invested in Roma, even though we're doing the Bloodline 2.0 Electric Boogaloo. I think a lot of people
37,000.0. Let's get it right here, Michael.
They want to they want to see the different iterations. They want to see what's going to happen with the Bloodline and the MFTs now. Is Royce Keys going to actually give in and go with the MFTs? There are some people who are still captivated by the storytelling. They want to see Liv Morgan get beat by Raquel, as we saw tonight in the Queen of the Ring and everything like that, and to see the direction it goes. So there are some stories that people are captivated in seeing, but I think at the same time too, what gets people is it's not the wrestling, it's not the booking, it's not the wrestlers, it's the costs, it's the money. It's also the fact that we mentioned many a times the ads, and because I think it's one of those things where you have a buttload of ads and everything, people are just become tiresome to it. I think it's also the fact that it's just like, okay, it's rinse, lather, repeat. It's great what you're giving us, but it's the same thing over and over again. We don't want to constantly live in Groundhog Day, for God's sake.
Exactly. You talk about Bloodline. Let's use this past week just as an example.
Mm-hmm.
We had that backstage segment with Roman and Jimmy and Jay.
Mm-hmm.
And Roman says, hey, you go out there, you win this tournament. And when you do, you go over to Cody. You go against Cody. You've had this one. Go get the other one.
No.
We have seen this shit before.
He's literally turning back into 2020 Roman Reigns.
And the thing of it is, like,
Exactly.
he's still acting. They're still trying to tell people, oh, he's a baby face.
No, he's not.
And they basically are like, okay, Jacob Fatu, kind of a big guy. Solo was kind of a big guy.
And now they're going to thwart that. Yep, and they're going to thwart that. They're going to have Royce Keys go with the MFTs. So they're slowly turning him heel
because
to join.
You had Jeff Cobb, you had you had Tangaloa. You fired them both. You want to fire one of them? Get rid of Tangaloa. Jeff Cobb would have been your dude.
Yeah, they didn't see anything in Jeff Cobb.
But it's like you got rid of Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy. I understood, hey, Nikki Cross, hey, all the power to her. Congratulations to them. Her and her husband Dano getting progress, and what they're doing with with Progress and Defy. So you're getting 2 in 1. But I think if you look at everybody who was released, it's like you have to scratch your head as to why. I mean, they legitimately got rid of tag teams. Why are you getting rid of tag teams? It doesn't make any sense, because now you have tag team titles that are kind of scarce and out there because you don't really have tag teams. But I do want to point something else that Nick Khan actually mentioned in his nice little town hall, whatever the hell it was that he was talking about. But
I can't. I laugh every time he says town hall. Like, come on. I'm sorry.
I know. It's like this is a town hall. What are you, that orange idiot? But my point. Let me get. Yeah, the taco guy. But what he also said is that he wants to have a new turnover for stars, and he want to push a lot more stars out of NXT or through NXT and then get them up on the main roster. My issue with that is you have legitimate stars that are over. Trick Williams, who is uber over. Oba Femi, who is uber over. Yeah. Yes, you have aging superstars in CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Finn Balor. You have legitimate stars who are aging and are aging out. Your turnover is that you're supposed to bring in new stars, which is legitimately what Triple H was doing prior to taking over WWE, prior taking over the main roster. He was doing that in NXT, and a lot of the legitimate stars that he had. What did Vince do with them? Nothing.
Made them look like shit. Yep. Didn't know what to do with them.
Because they were smaller guys. And now you look at the way
Adam Cole is now.
Yeah, exactly. And you legitimately have stars, absolute banger stars, and that you're not doing anything with them. So don't say that you want to produce new superstars coming from NXT when you're not legitimately taking the ones that you have on the main roster seriously.
What they want.
I spoke my piece, sorry.
They want.
And see, this time, Michael, I didn't have a fucking fuck Riyadh season moment.
Yes.
No, you can add that.
You can add that too. You can if you want.
Look, I was just trying not. I was doing this in my calm voice.
Let me tell you something. I don't edit this shit. This is raw, unfiltered. You want to say fuck Riyadh season? You say it.
It's become his thing.
Fuck Riyadh season. We don't fucking go to Riyadh. We don't go there. We don't fucking legitimately love it there. We don't like that they're doing all this bullshit over there. So fuck Riyadh season. Fuck the WWE. Fuck Triple H. Fuck Nick Khan. Hi, Tony Khan. You awesome as fuck.
And fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Well, Tony,
he's dead. Fuck him too.
It's funny. Did you guys see that Tony Khan is kind of getting some crap because Mick was like kind of talking about getting that itch and maybe having one final match in AEW? And I'm sorry. I love Mick Foley to death. We all do, but I don't want to see Mick Foley and MJF
let me ask you: have you guys seen that dude on like TikTok and Instagram? He's an EMT. I think he's like badge 502. Shout out to him. Like he'll post people doing like the dumbest shit, and then he'll just do like, no.
Yeah, that
guy, Mick.
I you know what? But here's the thing. What Tony Khan does is that he's very safe and protecting. He's very good at protecting the older people that are on his roster. Look at Sting. Look at what he legitimately did for Sting. I'm not saying that he needs to go out there and have this extreme match like they did, for his final match. And I just feel like if Mick is in good enough shape, if he has legit working out, doing what he needs to do, doing cardio and can do some stuff, hey, I'm cool with it. You want to go through a table? Hey, I'm cool with it. But I don't want you out there trying to go, hey, let me go 20 minutes with MJF. Let me go 20 minutes with Andrade. Let me go 20 minutes with Brody King. No, I just want you to go out there. Yeah, with John Moxley. I just want you to go out there and enjoy yourself, have a good time, have a tag team partner.
Exactly.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind him having a tag teaming with somebody. So this way that they can legit go out there, have a good time, and if it's his final match,
oh yeah, I mean
good for you.
I mean, they've gotten the negative criticism. Everybody's like, "Oh, Tony wants a wrestler to actually die in the ring," and I'm like, I don't know, man. It's just I look at that and I see Mick Foley. I'm like, you guys, I hear it, but I'm also at the same time like, Mick, the last time you tried to do this, you didn't get cleared. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, the problem is Mick fell and got a concussion.
Yes.
And to say that, oh, Tony just wants a dead wrestler, who the hell wants that?
Nobody does.
Triple H has even said, people asked him about having maybe Ric Flair doing it, and
no.
Triple H said, I don't think that's a good idea.
I mean, come on, Ric Flair's last match, like after that, no.
He admitted he had a heart attack.
Yeah, no. Don't do it, Rick. Don't do it.
Again, like that creator I mentioned.
No. I mean, God rest his soul, when Terry Funk was doing like these conventions and he's wrestling in like his early 70s, I'm like, no, Terry. No.
Why did you hit me this way?
I said the same thing about Terry Funk. Like Terry Funk, no, Rick. I look at Ricky Morton and I'm like, Ricky.
Why did you hit me this way?
I'm sorry, but Punk's Terry Funk impression was on point.
It very much was.
And then boom, poke in the eye.
Oh man, but yeah, no, that was one of the ones. And can I ask you guys, like, AEW, two things I want to mention. Why? Number one, why is Kevin Knight in the Don Callis family? And number two, I see E-O, I see E-O, I see E-O. Those are my two AEW things.
Did I not call this?
Yeah, we all.
When Mercedes lost the TBS title to Will, did I not say back then that she would disappear for a while, she would come back, Whitney Owen as a babyface, and that's how she was going to win the title?
Yeah, and
I'm gonna admit one thing about Mercedes is that I legitimately am happy that she's back.
Yeah,
for everything that all the shit that a lot of people gave her, including us,
justifiably so.
Justifiably so. But the one thing that she did was that she went out, she put legit belts around her waist, like from other companies around the world and other countries and other not lesser known companies. So what she did is that she went out there, she did her thing, and then we were happy for her. She did what she needed to do, and this is much deserved time off. So kudos to her. As far as Kevin Knight,
yep,
that's some kind of fuckery that you didn't think was going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not. And Don Callis' fake teeth falling out of his mouth. Yeah.
That was kind of fun.
Oh my God. That was hilarious. You got to admit.
It was very
I
much.
mean, to me, that was the equivalent of Brock Lesnar splitting his pants twice.
That's a good point.
Not once, but twice.
And you know what? If he heard this, he'd probably find me and kick my ass. But you know what? Fuck it, it needs to be said. Brock, don't wear the skinny jeans.
Yes.
Okay, so one of
But
the
at
other
least to his
subjects I
credit,
really,
when he does that, he will make fun of himself.
This is true.
Yeah.
Oh, I did have one other thing I want to ask. Did you guys think
Okay.
Holly Holm got robbed at the MVP event? A lot of people thought she got robbed in that fight. Because we talked about Ronda and Gina, but Holly Holm did her thing in that fight. And then a lot of people felt she got robbed, including herself.
yeah, I would say yes.
Hmm.
I would say yes, she got robbed.
She's gonna.
But the fact
end
that
up-
Nate Diaz got his ass whooped, I'm perfectly fine with it.
I'm fine with that too.
like, are both the Diaz brothers just kind of like dicks?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Did we say that too quick?
No, not quick enough.
No? Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, my bad. Okay, so one of the other subjects that I did want to pose to Dan, that I did, the reason why I was going to come on the show anyways, to have with Dan, and was that we were talking about the WWE and AEW wrestlers specifically, you know, kind of talking about how going back and forth about, you know, oh, I still watch the product, basically like Mariah May, which is Blake Monroe now. She said she still watches her friends over at AEW. Tiffany Stratton says, yes, I watch AEW, you know, and of course MJF actually running it off and saying, hey, look, I still know people who are over there, so I still watch them and watch what they do, and you know, and I'm happy for them, legitimately. So I think this is kind of a double-edged sword of sorts, because you hear people who kind of look at it and think, well, why are you supporting them if you're in this company, you know, and then vice versa, you know, that, you know, WWE fans get on WWE wrestlers saying, oh, well, you shouldn't be watching those people, and AEW doing the exact same thing. Well, but you have friends who are over there. You have friends on either side. It's like Buddy Matthews, you know, who's over there in AEW, and of course his girlfriend, obviously fiance, soon to be wife. Rhea Ripley. Oh no, it's his wife. It's his wife. They're married, huh? Okay, so I'm my bad. But his wife is over in WWE. So, you know, you ask him and he's like, yeah, I still support my wife. I still support her, and vice versa. She supports him, you know, in what he does. So,
like,
I guess you go for it.
There was that interview with MJF where he said, I think it's weird when people say, oh, well, I only watch AEW. I only watch. He says, well, if you're like that, I'm sorry, you're dumb. And he said, if you're in this business and you're smart, you're watching everything. And I'm sorry, but anybody in WWE who says, oh, we don't pay attention, bullshit. I guarantee you, Wednesday nights, Triple H is sitting around the TV in his office at home watching Dynamite.
I will admit one thing. Tony Khan did book a very, very good episode of Dynamite this week. And I'm not just saying that legitimately. I thought it was a far better episode, of one of the best episodes of Dynamite I've seen in maybe a few weeks, that are kind of up there. But I can tell you that it's blown Raw, SmackDown, even leading up to Clash in Italy. It's blown them away, even with just this past Wednesday. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was sports oriented. Dare I say?
Well, what does this say about the current? And let me ask you guys this: what does this say about the current WWE product when, in an attempt to get more views, They ran the entirety of El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano from AAA this past weekend after Raw. Which, by the way, congratulations to those two for getting 5.25 stars. Which I thought it should have gotten more, but that's
So, I mean,
because it wasn't an AEW or CMLL. That's why.
Or at the Tokyo Dome.
Or at the Tokyo Dome. His favorite place, obviously.
I will say this. When it comes to that match, I mean, how popular that was, and how great of a match that was, they'd be a fool not to. So I totally get it, just because everybody's talking about it's the hot topic of the town. Do it. I mean, look in 2016 when the Hardy Boys and the Broken Universe was the talk of the town, and then you had, and God rest his soul, Bray Wyatt, and you had the Wyatt family and the New Day at the Wyatt compound. So I mean, they try to replicate stuff that's popular, or they showcase it. So hey, if you missed this, we're going to put it on here. That's what everybody's talking about. And as far as AEW goes, I think their product. I look at MJF with what he says. If you're not watching more than product, even when I was a kid, I watched TNA, I watched Ring of Honor, I watched WWE. Even as I've gotten older, I watch AEW. TNA had the Hardys and the Righteous this week in the Wicked Garden match, which was a barbed wire match with flowers, and that was entertaining as hell. I mean, you have
my God, fucking Jeff Hardy getting wrapped up in. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it.
I remember back in the day, Monday nights, Nitro would come on at 8 o'clock Eastern. Raw would come on at 9. You would watch that first hour of Nitro, then switch over to Raw, and then you just go back and forth, commercials happen. And watched all I could. Occasionally, I remember ECW on TNN would be on, I think it was TNN at 8 o'clock at night.
I think so. That was the time before Raw took the spot, yeah.
And Vince basically kind of made TNA or ECW go out of business, which
yes,
maybe that's why he gave Paul Heyman a job.
Yes, Paul even said, yeah, and Paul was like, "I had to do it. I had to do it. I had no other option."
But I remember that, Don Callis, seeing him on ECW, which. Folks, if you ever want to see Don Callis with hair, look at his ECW stuff.
Cyrus the Virus? You mean the former Jackal in the WWF where everybody hated him?
Yes.
And we had...
Yes, and yes.
Cyrus representing the network.
The network cut. Then they tried to replicate that in the Ruthless Aggression era. Palmer Cannon as Teddy Long. It's assistant and the dude from the network. And that guy legit quit the JBL antics on the European tour, and we never saw him again.
Plane Ride from Hell.
Yeah, that too.
But my thing is you legitimately have a lot of wrestling that's out there right now. I mean, and I can go back to say that we are pretty much where we were at pre WCW, WWE, and Vince taking over all the territories, because there were legitimately NWA, although it was just a legitimate company, it had several territories. Aside from just the NWA, they had a lot of territories. And then of course you had Midwest wrestling, you had Memphis wrestling, you had
Smoky Mountain.
Of course, we had Eastern Championship Wrestling. We had Georgia Championship Wrestling, which eventually ended up becoming Game Changer Wrestling. We had WCCW. We had the AWA. We had the Smoky Mountain, as you mentioned. Hi, Mo. Your favorite AWA. Hi, Mo.
Super Class 3, baby.
Yeah, Super Class 3, baby. Of course, then again, we may actually go back and watch Super Clash 2. You know what I'm saying? I'm just joking. I'm just joking. No. I wouldn't subject you to any more AWA. But but you get what I'm saying. It's we had so many different so many different companies to watch, and for different areas it was always like you may get one match or one show for Smoky Mountain Wrestling or Georgia Championship Wrestling on like the East Coast or the West Coast, for like maybe one night a week at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. My point being is that we're in a time where MLW, AEW, WWE, GCW, so many varieties of wrestling, New Japan, and Stardom and Marigold and CMLL, AAA, so many companies that we could all get into. So, and then a lot of them we could find on YouTube, which makes it even better, and then of course now we got Nikki and Dano that just took over Progress and Defy. So I'm pretty sure at some point in time they're going to end up doing stuff on YouTube and wherever. But we're just living in a good time for wrestling, and I just don't understand why it's so complex for people for so many years that we've just been programmed to be. It's WWE and nobody else. Almost 25 years.
Yeah, because people are chodes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just love wrestling. It doesn't matter if you don't know what the hell's going on in a company, who cares? Just watch it.
Google is free.
Look, I remember when Cody left and he started his voyage, if you will, the journey to all these different territories. Like I remember the first Wrestle King I watched was 2017 and Cody versus Juice Robinson in his debut. I remember watching Jericho and Omega at the Alpha Omega 2018 Wrestle Kingdom. Like you knew about New Japan, you know about these other promotions. Just do your research and enjoy it. Like Mexico, AAA was on in like the early evenings on Gala back in the day with Galavision. So I was like, come on now, man.
It's not like the old days where, the early days of the internet before YouTube, you had the tape trade. I remember when I was 18, 19, I bought the IWA King of the Deathmatch 1995, the one where Mick Foley won as Cactus Jack. And I remember seeing him versus Terry Funk and the barbed wire exploding ring match and thinking, oh my freaking God.
Yep.
And hearing those fans scream for Terry, Mike,
Yep.
Like I can still hear it now.
Terry.
Why did you hit me that way?
I know that's what you were going. Well, it's like with me, like my first ever ECW DVD was like the best of Cactus Jack. Like you get Cactus Jack and the Sandman, Cactus Jack and Mikey Whipwreck, like all the good stuff, like him and Mikey Whipwreck. Mikey, he likes it. He really, really likes it. It means I'm gonna die. Like that stuff. Like classic.
And then we talk about Mick Foley and ECW. If you want to see good promos, and no, I'm not going to plug what you think I'm going to plug. If you know, you know.
Yerp.
Watch Mick Foley's ECW promos. We're talking about the He's Hardcore. We're talking about the Kane Dewey promo. Like, if we imagine that Cactus Jack versus Mox versus Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but back in the day, Mick Foley was untouchable on the mic, much like MJF is now.
Well, he knew also how to get off as a heel in ECW, where he's like, "Take me back, Uncle Eric," and he's like, "You know what? I'm not going to do anything that this brand represents that's unique or different. I'm just going to do a rest hold and wrestle and do suplexes." And people chanted boring, and he knew how to friggin' hook them in to be that diabolical heel.
And just
it's crazy. I'll go for it.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, we look at, all the female wrestlers, like the ones that were in, like Luna Vachon, that we go back to Glow Championship Wrestling, and we go back to that and see how, the farmer's daughter and all those women, and I mean quite a few of them, had wrestled in other places. I mean, even what the hell's her name? I can't pronounce her first name. Yeah, like all the wrestlers that were there, and then you look at all the women, who legitimately wrestled. Alondra Blaze, Wendy Richter. We look at those, and we knew their career in WWE or WWF, but that they went over to Japan, and the matches that they had there with like Aja Kong and Manami Toyota, is that her last name? How are you pronounce her first name? Yeah. It's like, oh my God. And that's another one that is just so phenomenal. Bull Nakano is another one. But you look at all those, Lalani Kai, like you can go on YouTube and look at her stuff that she did over in Japan. And oh my God, that would be like night and day for the stuff that she did in WWF.
I mean, look at China.
Because in WWF, you didn't really do very much. I mean, you did a couple slaps, you did hair pulls and twirls and stuff like that. But you go over to see what they did in Japan, those women were legitimately beating the shit out of each other.
And just as an aside, how is it possible that Leilani Kai is one of the few WrestleMania 1 competitors that's not in the Hall of Fame yet?
That's definitely got to be coming soon. I mean, if we got Michelle McCool in the flipping Hall of Fame, and she's still trying to say, I'm not in there just because of my marriage to The Undertaker, and somebody wrote,
you're in there because of your marriage to The Undertaker.
Yeah. And someone wrote on Twitter, name me one memorable Michelle McCool match. And I'm like, well, you're not wrong. I mean,
you're not wrong.
With the Japanese side, like, go back to 2002, watch China and Masahiro Chono. Like, for that 9 minutes, those are some of the brutal 9 minutes I've ever seen in my life.
And Chono,
that's some of the brutal 9 minutes of freaking Chono with freaking China.
Oh yeah, like she got him good. She was bleeding. He was cut up a little. Yep.
You mean to say China? Now, I do want to also bring this up just because it was a big bag of what the fuck in the universe of WWE video games.
Okay.
So, WWE 2K26 recently had an update, a system update, and they added the CEO of Take-Two Interactive, Strauss Zelnick.
Oh, God, I saw his entrance that they did online. Oh, my God, yeah.
They added him to the game. Nobody asked for this. And what theme did they give him? My Way by Frank Sinatra.
And I did it my way.
Nobody asked for this.
It's like when they put Pat
at least it wasn't My Way by Limp Bizkit, hey.
My Way or the Highway.
Hey, that was a good song back then.
It was. But it's like when they put
I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying that it was kind of funny that they didn't do it. Or you know what? Hey, even Usher My Way. You know what? Hey.
I'm just
saying. Yeah, exactly. See?
I mean, it's not like they put Pat McAfee and his boys like that one time, like the football players that he hangs out with on the Pat McAfee show in the game. That was pretty bad, too.
Yeah, a whole DLC of just Pat McAfee.
And the boys, yes. I mean, Fred Durst was in a video game, but him in SmackDown Just Bring It was hilarious. Like, yeah. I loved him in friggin' the game. Like, he was fun. He came out on the car, did the dance, and they actually gave him wrestling moves that he's probably never done in his life.
Okay, which was your favorite SmackDown game?
Oh, boy. For me, it's a toss-up between SmackDown Shut Your Mouth and SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. For the season mode, SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, because it was a 2-year season mode. And if you create yes. Yep. And if you create a wrestler, they actually have them start out on Sunday Night Heat and make them make their way into the main roster. So I thought that was a nice little detail.
Which, you had these storylines, but like nowadays it's like it's over too fucking quick. You could do the storyline and be done with it in an afternoon.
Yes.
That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part because you legitimately like on Shut Your Mouth, you legitimately have to go through, Sunday Night Heat, and of course you're going to be on there for a little while, and then you finally make it up to Raw, and then you finally make it up to SmackDown, and then you have to legitimately, you probably end up in a tag team, or you end up with the European title, or something like that in the beginning, and you have to work your way up to being in the Intercontinental or United States Championship, or being a tag team champion. You all of a sudden, it's like, it's crazy to have like Chris Benoit as your tag team partner, and then you have almost the exact same move set and I loved it. I absolutely loved Chris Benoit's move set in the game, and I loved the Northern Lights finish. Don't ask me why, but I just love that Northern Lights finish.
No, it was quick. It had a nice snap to it. And I mean, like you mentioned, like you're working this 2-year story mode. I mean, you have Vince McMahon and Ric Flair as heels in the second year of the mode, and they're the tag team champions, and you get stripped and they put the belts on themselves. So, I mean, it's like you had that iteration of it, and it's fun. Like, I'll say this to anybody. If you've not played the 2-year season mode of Shut Your Mouth, you go through a lot of twists and turns. They even give you a break to, like, do you want to go film this movie and we're going to write you off, or do you want to continue? They give you a break in 2003.
Yeah, it give you a break. Yeah, okay. You want to? You got a film offer you got an offer to film to go be an extra in a film, or to star in a movie. Do you want to take a break for a little while? So even if you take the break, you come back, and then you got to be like, you're not really on that upper echelon again, or you're not a main eventer, but now you got to work your way back up again. So it's a crazy part of the game, especially, it's like when you had Eddie Guerrero. You remember the backstage when you're beating him up in the parking lot brawl?
Yeah.
When you have like different people you get to do in the parking lot brawl, and throw JBL through the freaking table or through the car.
Yeah,
Rey Mysterio, you got to do this. Yeah, exactly. Everything breaks, or even when you have a hardcore match in the boiler room,
the subway and the train. Yeah,
I think it was here. I think it was Shut Your Mouth. Brawling outside of WWF New York,
and in the snow, right?
And you could use snowballs as a weapon.
Yes. if it was snowing, you could throw the snowballs at him. That's right.
Yeah. Like now, like some of the weapons now, literally, this is one of the weapons, a chancla. That is a weapon.
You're gonna throw a chancla at somebody.
I mean, it's like when you first start playing the game, and then just to go back to Shut Your Face for a second, Shut Your Mouth. It's you get to climb on the Titantron, like everybody loved climbing on the Titantron. The fist. Like, it was great. Like. They had such cool stuff, but yeah, like you mentioned, now they use chanclas, and it's all right. I just wish, like you mentioned, the extensing of the season mode, and it's like I watch these gameplays of these different content creators playing the game, and like the game is over within like a few episodes when they play it because it's so fucking quick.
Now, what I will say, I do like they borrowed from the AEW game thumbtacks. Like they finally have the thumbtacks, and they stick. And depending on how you throw your opponent into the tacks, they react differently. Like if, let's say you're Triple H and you hit Umanga with DDT, into the tacks, he will literally like lean back up, and he'll kind of like trying to like clear it out of his hair. Which, speaking of Umanga, hurry up and sign Zilla Fatu before AEW does.
Yeah, get him up in there and do what you got to do with Zilla.
Because like that dude, and let me ask you guys as we start to wrap up here. Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Could you see a point where Zilla Fatu is not only in WWE, but is a WWE champion?
Yes.
I legitimately can see. And I would love to see him there doing what he's, as big as a star as he is on the indie scene. Like, I can imagine what it would be like for him to be in front of all these people in front of these huge crowds for WWE. I can imagine what he would do. But I go back to what I had said previously about, the turnover of the stars and everything. Are they going to get pushed? Are they going to get the legitimate push? Because that's the crazy part of them saying that they don't have enough superstars. Like they feel like I've heard so many people online say, well, they legit don't have enough superstars. Problem is that they're not pushing the right people when they have the opportunity to push them. And that's the difficult part as fans, because we legitimately get behind someone like Trick Williams, Jacob Fatu, Joe Hendry. I'll even use Joe Hendry because he's legitimately so fucking over, but we haven't seen him on TV in like what, 3 weeks?
Because we got to sell them. Well, we got to sell the beat down of the Vision, brother. That damn Austin Theory.
Yeah, that damn Austin Theory. Grrr.
And now we talk about the Vision, and what would talk about the Vision be without another rumored injury? There was video that released after Raw of Braun injured, possibly an injured leg.
I mean, he did wrestle tonight. I mean, he was all right. But
he looked fine. I mean, he ran around the room. He ran around the freaking ring and jumped up on top of the and hit Dom. And then, of course, he went flying over the table with freaking what's his face?
Trick.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, with Trick Williams. So, he obviously doesn't look that hurt. But, I mean, I think he's kind of taking it, being very careful, because I'm pretty sure he probably could have lifted up the table and probably ended up re-aggravating his hernia. But I just feel like you have an opportunity to bring somebody in like Grayson Waller to legitimately make that tag team what it is, make a legitimate tag team. A-Town Down Under. I don't know if you really want to call them that, but of course it doesn't matter really. I mean, you can get Logan Paul into the Intercontinental title picture. Braun Breaker be in the world title picture. Basically, the faction ends up with the belts. And if you want to, hell, make Maxine Dupree a women's Intercontinental champion. So I'm just kind of throwing that out there.
I think the thing that gets me is because
and where's Jordan Grace?
Yeah.
Main event. She's wrestling on Main Event this week against Kiana James.
I know. She's messing on me. I know. I saw. It was a good match, by the way.
Why is it that Braun is now in a tag team? Like, I'm sorry.
Because the Freebird rule.
You can't get anybody else? Like,
legitimately, Grayson Waller. You're not doing anything with him, and you have him there. So
your best tag teams, and who do you replace them with? Enzo and Cass.
How you doing?
Which, just as an aside, for the love of all that is holy, keep Enzo and Tama Tonga on separate shows.
Yes. Well, they say Enzo might be in NXT, so you can see what he's gonna do, huh?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Like, do we not remember all the trouble that he caused his first run?
Oh, because he's an asshole. Still is an asshole. But how you doing?
I'll tell you how we doing.
How we doing?
We are recording another fucking kick-ass show that we do that only the three of us can do as good as we can do. There's not a single person alive on this planet, this universe, this whatever, that does what we do like we do. And as we kind of call it a day here on the Pundit, let me kick it over to my dude, the tribal chief of RWT, the dead man of RWT, Mr. Paul Morales. Paul, what do you got going on in your world?
Man, you know what? We got the RWT podcast, of course, with us three. Our new episode just dropped yesterday. Of course, you could find it in the link below. Either that, or you just go to Mr. Michael Larkin over there, and you know what? You'll find it on his page. You know what? But of course, you can follow us on Twitter, the RWT podcast, and of course, you could follow me, the Dead Man of RWT. All my links will probably be in the link tree below. But Mr. Michael Larkin, my brother, where can we find you at?
So if y'all want to check me out, it's S&M Network Shows, which features the RWT podcast, Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling, the Steve and Mike Show. We also feature some pop culture, the LFC podcast, Uncaged, with my boy Daniel Crimmins, which we are on season 6, episode 10. We just did a show with Moses Marquez, Bash at the Beach 2000, and our season finale we will be recording soon with our boy Johnny Bev, Jonathan Beer himself, talking about Bill Goldberg. And a lot of great stuff going on there. And we will actually be returning with the Wrestling Roundtable, as we will be recording this Sunday with Dan, with Mo, with Nicola, with Rob. And we are going to be discussing, since it is now the 22-year anniversary of the first episode of TNA Impact on FSN Fox Sportsnet. And Paul will also be joining with us on the follow-up Wrestling Roundtable, where we look at the history of ECW, the rise and fall, if you will. And yeah, there's a lot going on. Also, check out the newest podcast to the channel, the Takedown Podcast with my boy Roy Costin, which could also be viewed on WFJAFM.com/podcast. And if you're on Twitter, SM Show1 MCL92. And if you're on the gram, as the kids say, go to MLarkinMB or Larkin_92.
And Mike, what do we got going on with the LFC?
Oh, man, the LFC podcast. So LFC just did LFC 47, Tusslemania, not too long ago from the FSW Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Our latest show, LFC 48 from O-Town in Florida, just came out as well. So there's a lot of stuff coming to the LFC front as far as the podcast goes. I had a lot of great people recently on, the girls that were part of the Queen of the Cage contest, which was run by Italian stallion herself, Michaela Corona, and she will be fighting at the LFC event this summer in Italy. So a lot has been going on. So definitely stay out here. Stay tuned. Bless you.
Bless, yeah. Pundit.
Bald.
Bald.
So again, I am the Piledriver Pundit. You can catch all of my content, all of their content. Check us out. Stay tuned. We got even more coming. You never know who's going to stop by. You're just going to have to find out, because we'll see you when we see you. I've been the Piledriver Pundit. For Michael Larkin, for Paul Morales, good night and
Good.
bye.
Bye.
Bang.